Welcome back to Horse Racing Today with yours truly and Terry Hollywood Hay on this terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday for day 2 at Bensalem, Pennsylvania, or Parx Horse Racing. As always, folks, we got some free picks lined up for you today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link in the description below. If you're looking for some free picks today at Thistledown, the only place to go is to the link below where you'll see Jack Thistledowns is the free track today. It's fast, only 3 scratches on the day. So that's a pretty positive thing there. You're going to get some good fields, some fast racing, and most importantly, another 4-letter word that starts with F, free. And then when the show's over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see right there, like we did yesterday, we'll post all of our comments as well as a replay of the show. And while you're there, hit that HRT gear button right there. You see it in the menu. And then up there, you get yourself a nice trucker hat. You can customize the colors if you don't like the ones we picked. Perhaps you're more of a black and gray fan or a red and white fan. You can customize it to your liking in there, Terry. You can make it one solid color if you like. I kind of like that one a lot right there. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's nice.
Indeed it is. I'm going to have to grab me one of those fairly soon. You'll see me sporting it right here on horseracingtoday.net. All right. First race of the day, Terry, at Parx. Let us know what the conditions are.
Okay, we're going to start out at 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 17th.
And at $170 on the main track, the profile of a winner, the kind of horse that usually gets the job done, is one that has early speed. In fact, more than 4 out of 10 take the lead and do not relinquish it at any point. Stop in the winner's circle for a photo session. Post positions are mostly fair. The best place to be is post 2 or 3. 4 through 7 get dinged a little bit. 1,000 simulations, Terry, to get a sense of who's going to be on the lead. That's what you see here. Then based upon our projected paces, which horses have the best shot to run a race that measures up to or equals their best performances. Your Q30 score is the clearing points. The higher the score, the more likely the horse is to go wire to wire, 30 being the threshold where, well, according to James Quinn, you can bet them blindly. We got 2 of them with that. We also want to see what percent of the time in our 1,000 simulations a horse runs a speed figure at or above par. For this level, according to Brisnet, the average winning speed figure is 81. That means almost 40% of the time El Hermano managed to score that level or above. And then finally, we have our simulated odds. We want to see which horses offer up some value. Our simulation odds, hopefully lower than post-time odds. Terry, what do you see here?
Well, you look there, you can see that there's quite a bit of speed showing there, but the 4 has the most speed, followed up by the 6 and the 5. So the 4 could get there first to that finished quarter pole. The 3 has an overlay from about 14 to 1 to 20 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from about 6 to 5 to 2 to 1. All but the 7 have par plus, and all but the 7 also have C-zone. And the Q30, the 4 and the 6 are pretty nice.
Yeah, so it looks like of those 2, if anyone's going to go wire to wire, it's Henry III or Super John. And that's, again, the distance 40% go wire to wire. Looking here, we have our trip handicapping, where they want to be. The 4 horse, well, that one wants to be on the lead. Everybody else wants to close. That's how they've run their best races. So far, the 7 long gray line has not been within 5 lengths of the leader. Got a lone E. If the 4 can get the lead, look out, Terry. Well, guess what? Super John and Henry III, just like our simulation said, they're going to go forward. So that 4 has a shot to be out there by itself. At the end, Texpectations, along with Dixie's 2 Stents, the most late speed and pretty nice advantage, about a length more than everybody else. 5 points, 1 length. Dixie 2 Stents is your top total pace horse. 6 points clear. You get 6 points clear. You better think about putting that one in your picks, Terry. I'm sure you did. Who did you start off with?
Okay, I start with El Hermano, the 5. Ran second in his last race. Today's distance will not be a problem, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like number 2, Dixie 2 Stents. He has a high percentage winning trainer and the highest last speed rating. Hurricane Highway, the 8th, my 3rd choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. Henry III, the 6th, my long shot, drops in class today, and he can handle the distance. No additional bets in this race for me.
I'm coming out swinging. I think I have almost my entire budget right here. So I'm going to go with that 4-horse on top, Terry. We're going to start with a little bit of a longer shot. Loney, really good chance to get to the front, Terry, where 41% go wire to wire. And quite frankly, outside of the 5, really, I don't feel like much others to beat in here. The 5-horse is your favorite right now, 3 to 5. Third up, so classic third start off their layoff. But the last time the horse made a 3-race cycle, came out of the barn hot, regressed in the second race, and regressed even more in the third race. Through the first 2, we see the same pattern. Dixie's 2 Cents is a class dropper. You did see it also has that strong total pace advantage in here. Also some strong late speed. Won't be too far behind this group, so that late speed could come in. But the trainer off the claim is 0 for 17, and the horse has run this distance 8 times and hasn't found the board either. And then finally, Hurricane Highway, the 8-horse, third at this level, and it's last out. It's one of those horses that can really add some juice at the end of the race, but it's one that can fall way behind early on. So if it can scoot up at the beginning of the start, has a good chance. I think the 4-horse right now at 8 to 1, it's got a good chance to go wire to wire in here. 40% of the time they do. So I'm going to go ahead and take a crack. I'm going to put my whole 100 in play on this first race, Terry. Cross my fingers that the 4 wins, and then everything else takes care of itself. It would be a hell of a way to start.
All right.
So right now, the 5-horse is your 3 to 5 favorite. And of course, there they go. They're starting to load. The 4-horse just went in. Here comes the remaining crew. I do hear Jessica Paquette in my ear. So the first race of the day about to get going. And we got the 6-horse loading up right now. Henry III. Here comes the 7-horse. Long Gray Line. And then the final one to load before the terrific Tuesday racing gets cracking is going to be Hurricane Highway. So I got my fingers crossed that this 4 can get off to a good start, Mr. Terry, and get to the front like he's supposed to. And they're off, and they are running. The 4 indeed get off to a good start. Pretty easy lead, I'd have to say, too, right about now. Very easy lead for the 4-horse. If that guy can maintain comfortable fractions, I mean, if I'm that jockey, I'm just sitting on that horse right now, not doing anything. The odds did come down pretty hard on that 4-horse from 8 to 1, 9 to 1. 4 to 2 right before the gate opened. 4 continues to set the tone. Does look like he's running pretty easy. The 5-horse, the 1 to 2 favorite, El Hermano, trying to keep him, I would say, somewhat honest. To the outside of the 5-horse is a long shot, the 7 at 70 to 1. They went through the opening half in a little bit more than 24 and a half seconds, so really not running all that fast. The jockey on the 5 has come to realize that the 4-horse is not being pressed. So he's come up to ask the 4-horse for a little bit more. 4-horse responding and pulling off a little bit. Jockey looking between his legs a little bit already after an opening half in more than 49 seconds. Down around the corner they go. The 4-horse continues to hold the lead, although the 5-horse is making up ground. Question is, does the 4-horse have anything left? I don't think he does, Terry. I think his day is just about over. It is, as is my wager. The 5-horse, the big short shot, is going to be your winner unless the 4-horse can come back up on the rail. I don't know. The 7-horse at a bomb price is really giving it a shot in here. Down the stretch they come. The 5-horse continues to lead. He's kind of drifting out in front of the 7 a little bit at 70 to 1. So I took a crack with that 4-horse getting the lead and keeping it. It didn't happen. He's going to run probably 4th. The 5-horse at 3 to 5, that's going to be your winner, although the 7 might have a claim. The 2-horse is going to come in 3rd. 5, 7, 2, and 4. There you go in the opening race.
Wow,
it was worth a crack.
Yeah, that's the kind of race that I would take the hard favorite and go a $1 key box on the exacta.
Oh, God. Hurricane Highway code 8 in the day with the name Y in the end. Super John, Superfield. Hello, Jose Medina. Hello. How are you, Adelina Suarez? Nice for you to join us today. And then where do we live? We live in Chicago. Where do you live? All right, let's go to race number 2, Mr. Terry, and see what that race is all about.
All right, sounds good to me. It's a 6 furlong claiming $25,000 claiming price. Purse $25,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
the 6 furlong Profile of a Winner. That one tends to favor horses that have tactical speed. In fact, about 34% of them do manage to win going wire to wire. And then, actually 36%. The closer you are to the rail, the better off you are at 6 furlongs at Parx. So, Terry, is there any horse on the inside with speed? Really, no, it looks like it's outside.
No, it's outside horses. The 4 and the 6 have the most speed. And although all of them show some kind of speed, but I think the 4 and the 6 will go head to head to that quarter pole. The 1 has an overlay from even money to 5 to 2, and the 5 has an overlay from almost 3 to 1 to 3.5 to 1. And then the 1, 5, 3, and 6 have par plus numbers. All of them show C zones, and the 4 and the 6 have really nice Q30s.
When you say which part of the train in Chicago is good versus bad, what do you mean? Like, where do you want to be on the train? I don't know that I necessarily want to be on the trains much in Chicago, but especially, after like midnight or so, you don't want to be in those cars by yourself. That's kind of can be a little bit scary at times, but not too bad. I haven't had too many problems on the trains. Most of the time, it depends on where you're at in the city, really. But Chicago is becoming a little bit more volatile by the day. So we have a sense of who's going to be on the lead here, right, Terry?
Yep.
And then we're going to look at the trip handicapping here. This time around, we see most of the horses want to be middle forward. A couple want to close in here. The 4 and the 3 having versatility as your EP and PC types. The 4 can be on the lead or can co-pilot. The 3 horse really can be just about anywhere it wants to be on the track. The 5 horse in here, the lone closer. So we look at the early speed, early pace. Dumphy, the 6 horse, looks like it's the speed of the speed, although Carbonite to its inside might make it work for the lead. The 4 horse should be right about where it wants, as well as the 3. The only one that looks misplaced right about now is the 1 horse. At the end of the race, Feel Lucky Tonight, the lone closer, is the strongest of the closers. Really won't be all that far off the lead here, but still at the back of the pack. Going to have to wind its way through traffic. What a Blast is your top total pace horse. Usually the top 4 produce the winner, but in this race, let's just look at the top 3. All the odd number horses versus all the even number horses. Terry, which side are you taking?
Well, I like number 2, Carbonite. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 17% of the claiming races. He has a horse running in, and he switches to high percentage winning jockey. Look at all those boxes he marks off. And number 5, I Feel Lucky Tonight, second choice, won his last race at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Dumphy, the 6th, my third choice, comes in to try Parx Racing for the first time, drops in class, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Number 3, Mass Control, is my long shot. He drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet $5 to win and $10 to place on the 2, and I'm going to take a 50-cent pick 4 and use the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 with the 2, 3, with the 4, 5, with the 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, a $50 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 1 horse here. What a Blast. The 1 horse. That one is a track dropper. Definitely been facing tougher horses. Does have some early speed as well as some positive Parx workouts getting ready for today. Number 5, I Feel Lucky Tonight. Well, he's been lucky at Parx in some respects. Got 1 win, but 4 thirds in 5 races at the Philadelphia track. And a good shot to be a better horse this time around than last time in the second start off the sidelines. Carbonite, Terry's bet there, the 2 horse. Pace Paco here on the class drop. Second up and did run some quicker fractions last out. And then finally, number 6, Dumphy. This is a Jamie Ness horse, and here it is, the morning line favorite. Got a big Q30 score in there as well, and it is on the class drop. So got for that one. I, too, got a pick 4 going. I'm going to go 1, 2, 5, 6 with the 2, 5, with the 2, 5. The 2, 3, and 4. My ticket costs, what's that? $30, something like that. 4 times 3 is 12 times 2. So $24 for me. Race number 3. Next up on our way to the 9-race card today, Terry. What are the conditions for race El Número 3?
Well, we're going to go on a sprint, 6 furlongs, claiming race, 12,500, first 23,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, much like the second race, 3 furlongs favors tactical speed, 36% wire to wire, inside better than outside. So we didn't see it in race number 2. Maybe we'll see it in race number 3. Some inside speed, baby.
Yeah, you could have that, I guess, but not really. I think the 4 shows the most speed, but you do have that one that shows second most speed. The 4 should get to that quarter pole first if it gets a good break. The 4 has
the 3 horse.
Or yeah, I'm at the 3. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I got off a little bit there. So the 3, and then the let's see. The 4 has an overlay from about 4 to 1, well, close to 4 to 1 to 20 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from 8 to 5 to 10 to 1. The 5, 4, and 3 have the Parx numbers, and all of them show C zones.
In the race, as far as the trip is concerned, balanced race, 3 forward, 3 backwards. Again, a trio of horses in the middle that have versatility. They're not dependent on any particular running style. The race gets going, and here it looks like one is considerably faster than the rest. Sirianni, not some good coaching decisions last night or bad catches. I know the coach's name is something like that from the Eagles. But it's about a length faster than Secret Life. So the 3 horse should be able to clear pretty easily. At the end of the race, Secret Life, though, who might be in that shotgun spot, does have about a length advantage over the rest of these horses as they come down the stretch. It's also your top total pace horse in here, Terry, by 8 points over Bright Kahuna, a little bit more than that over Sirianni, who's a 3 to 5 morning line favorite. Neither one of us had that 3 to 5 on top, but we both start with Secret Life. Why did you?
Well, I like Secret Life because she won both of her career races so far, drops in class and has a high percentage winning trainer. Then that 3 horse, she won her last race at Parx Racing by 8 lengths, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Burning Embers, the 1 is my 3rd choice, has a high percentage winning trainer, switches to high percentage winning jockey, and she has, and the Rail Post is winning at a 18% clip. And then Bright Kahuna, the 5 is my long shot. She has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts, has a trainer who wins 33% of the races when dropping a horse off of a win. That's it.
I'm going to start with the 2 as well. Secret Life. You know, I was watching some Australian racing with 22 to 1 Tom, and the horse was undefeated. And the announcer said something that makes a lot of sense to me. You just don't know how good a horse is until it loses. This one has won both of its races. It is your top total pace horse, 8 points clear of everybody else. So we'll find out today if that horse is indeed better than perhaps the par numbers show, speed numbers. I'm going to take another shot at beating that 3 to 5 morning line favorite, and that is Bright Kahuna. It is your top par plus score horse in this field. You see that there with the 5 horse. It is also our simulation odds favorite. This one's also a track dropper that's coming in off the highest last race speed figure. So when horses drop from a higher tier class track to I don't want to say lower tier, but you're usually facing lighter company, you usually see those speed numbers go up. Sirianni, the 3 to 5 morning line favorite, maybe too much early speed for the rest of these. Could win wire to wire, and if the bettors really back it, might be a very low price. And then finally, Burning Embers, the 1 horse is my final choice. Does have the benefit of being on the rail, and quite frankly, when you look at the 6 or the 4, I don't really think there's a whole lot to beat in either one of those 2. Off to race number 4 we go, the second pick 4 of the day, Mr. Terry, and another one of your allocations of your $100 budget.
Yep.
Tell us about this one.
Well, we shortened up a little bit more to 5.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $15,000 claiming price. Purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 17th. Claiming races for 12.5 or less, not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
5.5 furlongs. We didn't see it yesterday. In fact, we haven't seen it in a while. This one, you really better have the burners on when the gates open, Terry, because 56% of the time, the horse that wins the race to the quarter-mile marker also wins the race to the finish line. A little bit of a small penalty. Harley Charlie's not in, so J.W.'s Tricky's Mischief could get dinged a little bit with that post position. 2 and 3 get discounted too. 4 and out, a small bonus, but the farther you are from the rail, despite the quick turn, the better off you are. So Buffalo Girls on the outside with some speed, Terry, might be the way to the winner's circle, but that horse out the rail disadvantage has the early race advantage.
Yeah, they do all show some speed, but that 2 shows almost 3 times as much as most of them, followed up by the 3. The 2 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 4 to 1. 7 has an overlay from 9 to 1 to 20 to 1. All but the 3 and 6 so par plus, and all of them show C zones.
And then really JW's Tricky Mischief. If we're looking for a wire to wire type, that one looks like it has the best chance in there. Top Q30 score, top chance to get to the lead, really strong par plus overlay. We call that a green go horse around here. Green across there, and then it goes to the winner's circle. Let's see if it has any in-race advantages. Most of these horses want to be middle forward. That's strategically the place you want to be, but perhaps the pace could get a little bit hot if they all kind of chase after one another. That could open the door to the 6 horse, the lone closer, or the 3 horse, the lone P horse, if they have the ability to hug their leaders and then run by him at the end. At the beginning, it does look like if I put the right button in there, we'll find a JW's Tricky's Mischief a lot faster than everybody else when the gates open. So that one's got the best chance perhaps to go wire to wire. We saw that in our simulations. Eagle Man and My Devil's Child, they have the best late speed, although Eagle Man should be considerably in front of My Devil's Child when the race is moving along. You got 3 horses here, Terry, in the top that are about 6 points or better than the bottom 3. I'd say odds are the 2, the 5, or the 4 are going to win this race. Which one do you think it'll be?
I like the 5 Eagle Man. He won his last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 4 is my second choice. He finished in the money in 5 out of the last 6 starts, won 2 of those starts, and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the 2 JW Sticky Mischief is my third choice. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. The 3 is my third long shot. He drops in class today, and he likes the distance. I'm going to play $5 to win and $10 to place on the 5. And I'm going to play my second pick 4. I'm going to use the 4 5 with the 1 3 4 6 7 9 with the 2 5 6 7 with 10 11 $8.
I don't know if that's you or me that's going funky, Terry. But am I live, or is it Terry that was going all robotic? One of us is going robotic. It's tough to tell with only 2 people who the one is. That's the internet screwing up. But Eagle Man, tough call for me over the 2 horse. I like the Eagle Man in here because this one loves to run short sprints. He's done it a dozen times, 1/2 of them, and in 5 others finished second or third. So only off the board once in 12 starts in short sprints. I do think, however, that the 2 horse has a great chance to get to the lead and never give it up at a distance where 56% of the time the horse that gets out of the gate, gets that early lead, finishes up at the finish line first, grabs that checkered flag. Sueno Profundo, the 4 horse, my third selection in here, way better with all of its race internals from the beginning to the middle to the end of its last race, and smoked the competition by 7 lengths. The horse is stepping up in class, however, today. But usually when a horse wins by that much, another big race is coming. And then the Grandize, the 3 horse, just like Terry, catches my 4 spot, running at the lowest level it has in its last 10 starts, dropping out of a non-graded stakes race that was $100,000, which is kind of curious to me. Terry, when's your best bet coming up?
Let's see, my best bet comes up in the 7th or 8th, 8th race.
All right, so keep an eye on that tape from Terry's best bets coming up. Coming up for you and me next, however, is the 5th race, which is the dead center of a 9-race card. Terry, what are the conditions for the middle one?
Okay, we're going to stretch out a little bit to 6.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000, and it's for fillies, 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
So 6.5 furlongs, the type of horse that usually gets the job done. Tactical speed, so you want a horse that can get a good position on the track early on. 34% of the time, the win is wire to wire. There is a big, not a bit. It's funny how a G or a T makes a big difference, right? In language, but there's a big inside to outside advantage. Once again, Terry, we're looking for the fast ones on the interior, but they look like most of the speed is in the middle.
That's right. They all show some speed here, and you can see they're all pretty similar, but the middle horses have the most speed. But really, at anyone's guess who's going to get that quarter pole first, I think. And then that one has an overlay from 9-2 to 10-1, and 2 has an overlay from 7-1 to 12-1. And then all but the 5 and 7 show par plus numbers, and all but the 2 and 8 show C zones.
We got one in here, though, the 5 Riverview. Good chance to be on the lead. And if it gets the lead, likes it. Didn't make either one of our picks. Maybe we'll regret that if that one goes wire to wire. Our 5th race, most of these horses middle forward. That could give the 2 and the 8 an edge over the rest of the field if they all go a little bit too quick. We did see in our simulations that a lot of them are pretty similarly paced. Really, if you look, only 7-point difference between the all but Dorothy the Boss. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could be first or you can be 7th. If you stumble coming out of the gate, you get bumped, you get pushed wide. Any kind of trouble when the race starts could hinder your ability to get forward against a bunch that want to get up there. Dorothy's Boss, the one that'll be at the back of the pack, does have the most late punch, but going to be considerably far off the pace. The 8 to win, probably all of the others will have to really race after each other. Looks like some of the other ones that should be more forwardly placed, the 3, the 4, and the 2, they have some late speed to endure a little bit of pressure early on and maybe keep it up. Rummet, the 4 horse, the best combination of early speed and late speed, 4 points clear. Why not, babe? Here you have these top 4 horses again. Our numbers say more than 7 out of 10 winners come from that grouping, the top 4 total pace horses, Terry. And in your group, who do you got on top?
All right. Well, in this race here, I like the 4 Rummet. She won her last race at Penn National, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 44% of the races when dropping a horse off of a win. And then the 3, Cozy Kobe, is my second choice, finished 3rd versus similar. Her last race has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Farhart, the 1, is my 3rd choice. She finished the money in 4 out of the last 6 starts at Parx Racing. She won 2 of those races, and the Rail Post is winning at a 22% clip, and she can improve at the shorter distance. Why not, babe? The 9 finished 3rd in her last race at Parx Racing, winning the race before that, and she has a high percentage, and she has the highest last speed rating. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start with the 4 horse 2, Rumment or Rumint. I'm going to go with Rumint, right? Because Mint is that. Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. We saw that combination yesterday win. Class drop. Seeing those 2 wins, no really surprise. I think they were doing great until Ruben went up to New York and also got injured. But the horse did run faster fractions last time out and is going to drop in class. Number is probably not going to be 5-2 either. Probably going to be more like 4-5. Cozy Colby, the 3 horse, the next choice for me as well. A couple of 3rds in 2 races at Parx. Last time out, ran faster fractions at 7 furlongs than it did at 6 furlongs in the prior start. Ordinarily a sign of a horse coming to form. Number 2, Wildcat Girl. This horse has got a chance to have a bounce back race coming in the 3rd start after a layoff, and most of its numbers are on par with the rest of the top contenders. Farhart, the 1 horse, is a very hard call for me over the 9 horse, but does have early speed, and the rail is much better than 9 and out. So I'm going to take the early speed and the better post position over the horse I think actually might be a little bit better. 6th race, as this one marks the start of the late pick for Terry. And how are they going to kick it off?
Okay, it's going to go. Oops, I lost my place here. It's going to go to 6 furlongs. It's a maiden race, $50,000 maiden purse. It's for maidens 3-year-olds and upward. 6
furlongs. We talked about tactical speed being the most advantageous running style. And then 36%, a little more than 1 out of 3. Get the lead and keep the lead. Do not see the backside of another horse. In this particular case, at 6 furlongs, being on the inside is better than being on the outside. So if a horse is seeking their first W, Terry, get some early speed on the inside. You got a good chance. But again, we find 1 horse in here that's a bit faster than the rest early on.
Yeah, all of them show some kind of speed, but that 5 has really a lot of speed according to the data, and then followed up by the 4. The 7 has an overlay from about 8 to 5, 2 to 1. All but the 2, 3, and 4 have par plus numbers, and all but the 5 shows C zone.
You got
5
the
and
7 horse, Trumptastic, a little overlay, strong par plus. The horse has a 86% chance to find today's pace matching its best performances. So maybe that's 7 horse, Trumptastic. One to keep your eye on. Our race shape. Well, here you got the 4 horse, Splitting Stones. So far, hasn't been anywhere near the winner's circle at the end. Otherwise, a balanced race. 2 up front, 2 in the back, and 1 in the middle. Better go, go, go. That one could get the best trip of all. A lot of times in these races, the horses that break their maiden are on the lead early on or close to it. That will go to Arrogancy. That one's a little bit more than a length and a half faster than everybody else. So expect the 5 to take control early on. The end of the race, Trumptastic, Addison's Dream, along with Harp's Hot Corner. They'll be coming the quickest at the end. Our top total pace horse in here is the 6 horse, Addison's Dreams, followed by Arrogancy. Terry, you got these 4 that are all within 3 points. All likelihood the winner will come out of that group. Who knows? Maybe a 4-way dead heat. Who do you think noses it out?
well, I like the 7 Trumptastic. He finished 3rd in his last race, switches to high percentage winning trainer, can improve while returning to a sprint, has a good 5 furlong workout on September 11th. And then I like Addison's Dream, the 6th, second choice, ran second his last race, switches to high percentage winning jockey. He has the highest last race speed rating. The 5 Arrogancy is my 3rd choice. He has an early running style, so the shorter distance should help, and his best start speed is fast among today's starters. The 2 is my long shot bet, a go, go, go. He finished in the money in his last 4 starts. He has a trainer who wins 23% of the races in the first start with the trainer, and he has a good 3 furlong workout on September the 7th. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 3. I'm going to use the 2, 5, 6, 7 with the 10 to 11 with the 4, 5. And then I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 with the 6, 8, 10, 11, single the 4, and then finish up with the 6, 8, 10, 11, or 10, 12.
I think the 5 horse Arrogancy is going to get to the lead, going to keep that lead, and he ain't going to give it up. He's also a track dropper, so that aggressive early speed advantage should be even more accentuated today. Trumptastic, the 7 horse in there, another track dropper. Kendrick Carmouche coming in to ride this one. He's not coming in to finish out of the money, folks. He's coming in to get the winner's check. Addison's Dream, the 6 horse, the 3rd selection, did run the top last race speed figure. 5 points better than any other horse in the field. Andrew Byers says a 3-point advantage is more than enough to circle that horse and key on it. Can rerun that race. The horse has a great shot to win again and does have a maintenance workout between races to keep that Stephen Covey saw sharp. And finally, Hop's Heart Corner. Paco riding on a horse, Terry, that so far has raced twice. Last race, it was the 3 to 5 favorite. The race before that, it was the 2 to 5 favorite. Clearly, they think they have something here. I'm going to do a pick 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, over to 2, 6, 11, over to 4, 5, over to 1, 6, 8, and 12. And yes, I would say that staying off the trains in Chicago after midnight is probably a very good idea, unless you're riding in a pack of people or you're packing something else altogether. Race 8, the horse, it's coming up, brother. Good afternoon. It's been a while. Sean Prince, how are you doing today? Good to see you in here. And then please rate me as a number. We're going to write the number in a minute, Tefon. Right now, we're going to talk about race number 2. It's about to get cooking. In race number 2, your favorite at the moment is the 6 horse, Dumphy. Terry's picked to win. The 2 horse right now is the second choice at 5 to 2. My pick to win, the 1 horse, What a Blast. That one might be the most value in the race. Our simulation odds put the horse at about 6 to 5. Its odds right now are 9 to 2. We've seen a lot of those horses show up in the winner's circle. 5 horse, I feel lucky tonight. Our sim odds there are 3 to 1, and it right now is 4 to 1. So maybe a little 1-5 exacta box for $1, $2 bet with value on both the top and the bottom, no matter which one comes in as your winner, if that's the case. So it looks like they're just waiting for the 6 horse Dumphy, the favorite, to load, waiting for the assistant starter to hop into that gate there. get the horse's head straightened out so that the starter can press the button. And they're off, and they are running at the moment right now. You got 3 horses competing across the track for the lead. It does look like the 6 horse right now, Dumpy, has taken charge early on. The 1 horse riding in the shotgun position down on the rail at 7-2. Terry's 2 horse right now at 3-1, along with the 3 horse. Those 2 battling it out, trying to get involved in the mix, kind of boxing in the 1 at the moment. A little bit on the quick side for the opening quarter at 22.5 seconds as Dumpy continues to set the tone early on. The 2 and the 3 are pressing up in there. The 2 is going to have a tough go of it running between horses. The 3 horses running pretty well right now. The 1 horse down on the rail continues to hang in there. It does look like the 6 horse here is probably going to go wire to wire, Terry, as they come around the turn after opening quarter and a little bit under 46 seconds. The 6 horse continues to set the lead. Nobody really making up much ground at the moment. It does look like it's going to finish. I like to say the 5 horse right now is coming the best, but I don't know that he's going to be able to catch anything else. The 3 horse is trying to make up ground on the 6 horse at the end. Don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to go 6, 3, 1, 5, or maybe the 5 clip the 1 at the end. 6, 3, 1, and 5. Not quite sure what happened to some of the others in there, but we're both still alive. Funny when you put a lot of horses in there, how always the favorite wins, right? But 5-2 is not the hot favorite. All right. Race 2 is 1 is soup. Chicken soup, hot soup. I know for when you mean soup, I know with Chantel, hot soup meant the horse was a good one to keep an eye on, but 1 kind of faded off there at the end. Doesn't look like speed's holding up today, folks. We saw them get out there in both races now. Although the 6 horse did get to the front and stay there, but he was the favorite, so that doesn't really give you a sense of what the bias is like. We want to see long shots up front. That'll tell you the bias. All right, race number 7, Terry. We're changing surfaces.
All right, we're going to go to a turf. It's 1.70 miles. The claiming race 15,000, purse 28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 17th. Claiming races for 12.5 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
And at 1.70 on the turf, they haven't really done it a whole lot, a half a dozen times. Early speed does the best, 2 of those 6. 1 wire to wire. The horse on the rail, in this case, Mr. Surabachi, that one's going to have a huge edge over the rest of the field, at least so far. All the other post positions have not got up to par. So the best place to be, unquestionably, is the 2 horse, the rail. Some speed on the inside. If the 2 has some early speed, Terry, it could be dangerous to deal with. He does have some, but on the outside, he'll have some company.
Yeah, that's right. They all show some kind of speed, although the 11 shows the most speed, followed up by the 6 and then the 1. So it's another anyone's guess, I think. And then the 9 has an overlay from 3-1 to 5-1. All but the 2, 5, and 10 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yeah, again, we want a comfort zone score of about 50% or more. That means in half of our simulations or more, the pace today should mirror their best performances. Looking at the trip handicapping side of this 11 of this race, nobody really wants to be on the lead. Everybody wants to be middle back. 6, 8, and 10, the most versatile horses in the race. Again, most of these horses go wire to wire in the limited races that we've had so far. And going to be ready to get to the front, although Mount Surabachi on that rail should be in contention early, along with that outside horse, American Unity. They're all a touch quicker than the rest, but not a lot. Castagano, that horse has the most late speed. You got 3 of them in here, the 9, the 11, and the 4. Looks like the 11 showed up a couple times. Going to be close in the beginning, has the late speed at the end. That grades it out as your top total pace horse. Over the 5, We Ready, More Than Work, and Castagano. Those 4 being more than a length better than the rest in there. Terry, I know you like that 11 horse.
Yeah, I do. American Unity. He ran 4th in his last race. So that's the favorite, but the trainer wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Has a high percentage winning jockey. 10 Big Beautiful Walls, my second choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The 8 is my third choice, finishing the money in 3 starts at Parx Racing, winning 2 of those. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, Hoku, the 6, my long shot. He has won 2 out of 3 starts at Parx Racing, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter. It's actually a tight. It says that that I'm going to play a $2 exacta box, 6, 8, 10, 11, but it's actually a $1 exacta box.
Right, we'll go about changing that to $1. In the old days, they were $2, right? You couldn't do $1.
Yeah.
I am going to begin with the 11 horse 2. That one is, I think that one has a good shot to be forward. A lot of horses are going to have to catch it, and it has a lot of late speed to hold them off at the end. Really does like that distance. 7 races, a pair of wins, a second and 3/3. The only time the horse traversed across the Parx turf, it triumphed. It won. Hoku, the 6 horse, is another one that's performed exceptionally well at Parx on the grass, 3 times out, a couple of wins, and a close second. Last time out, Signs of Life with better early speed through the first half mile. 2 horse, Mount Surabachi. Too much of that inside edge with the one scratching out to overlook. Just the post position alone merits that one in your selections. And then finally, Castagno. I don't know. Paco on a horse in a very tight contested race. I don't think you can overlook that. No bets for me, as I tried my luck on the first race, and well, it ran out pretty quick when the 4 got the lead on slow fractions and couldn't hold it off. How you doing today, Lolo? Good to see you again. Thumbs up for me. Hey, I agree with Lolo. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up on Facebook, or we're not on Facebook. Hopefully that'll change pretty soon. We'll be live on Facebook again, but you're on YouTube. If you can give us a thumbs up, and Terry, if they're following us or want to follow us somewhere else, where should they go?
Well, should go ahead and subscribe on our YouTube channel and give us I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Subscribe on YouTube, hit that little bell so that you can be notified about all our different programs. Go down to the bottom and copy the link and share that with all your people that you know so they can come and check us out. Go to our social sites, as Rich was saying, and give us thumbs up and likes there. Also, give us comments and picks. That all helps us out.
Yes, any kind of interactivity at the end of the show. Another way to be interactive is to go about coming back, because we will post or timestamp every single race in the description on YouTube. So if you want to come back and see what we have to say about race number 7, you can come back and see what we have to say about race number 7. Or if you want to come back and hear what Terry has to say about his best bet right here in race number 8, you can just click on race number 8 in the button. Terry, your best bets in this one,
Yep.
What are they running for?
All right, they're going to go 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, purse $32,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, which have never won a race other than a maiden or a claiming, or which have never won 4 races, or a claiming price of $25,000, or which have never won 4 races.
At 1 mile and 70 yards, like we saw in the opening race, early speed does pretty well. Although the opening race, the speed didn't hang into there, but 41% of the time, the speed normally does hang in there and wins on the lead. Post positions are fair. 2 and 3, a little bit better than the rest. 4 through 7, a little bit worse than the rest. Really none of them that you have to avoid and none that you have to circle. So pretty fair. We're looking for some speed once again, Terry. Not surprising at Parx whatsoever at all. And we got 2 of them that look like they'll set the tone at the start.
Yeah, they all show some kind of speed, but as you can see there that according to the data, the 2 and the 6 show the most speed. They could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 3 has an overlay from about 7.5 to 1 to 12 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from almost 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. All of them show par plus numbers, and all show C zones.
Horse ratings in the 90s, TR Publishing. Well, the 90s are long gone, right? Please read race 8 and number 4. Okay, race number 8. We're going to, so best bet right here for Terry Tafum, all right? Race 8, number 4. There you go, Tafum. There's your best bet right there in the bottom. Hopefully you got that. At our race shape for this particular race in race number 8, what we see here, you got 3 that want to be on the lead. 1, the low EP in there. Those horses are exceptionally dangerous. The 1 and 3 want to close. So 2 horse riding here, Splendor Beauty should get a pretty good trip. There's no question about that, especially since you got the 2 speed horses out front. The 5 horse could be fake speed. So maybe get to the front, dash towards the front, and then kind of fall off as it gets discouraged. At the end, Lucky Dude, the closer, is the best of the 2 closers. A lot faster than Hey Porter and should be more forwardly placed. So if you're going to back a closer, Lucky Dude might be the one of the 2 that you want to look at. It's also your top total pace horse in there, a couple points better than the speed horse, Prince Colton. So do you want speed or do you want a closer? In this race, the closer might have the edge, Terry, but it doesn't look like either one of us have the closer in our bets. Probably going to regret that.
We probably will, but I like the 8 Prince Colton. He finished in the money in 9 of his last 10 starts, and he won 3 of those. Has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the number 5 Silent Mode is my second choice. Has won 2 out of 3 starts at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Splendor Beauty, the 2 is my third choice. Ran 4th in his last race as a favorite, but the trainer wins 31% of the races when he brings a beaten favorite back and switches to high percent winning jockey. Hey Porter, the 1 is my long shot. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet $30 to win on number 4 and a $5 double from the 4 on top with the 6, 8, 10, 12.
I'm going to go with the 5 horse, Silent Mode, as my top selection in here. That reruns its last race. It's a winner again. Could be better in the second start after a layoff. Number 4, Prince Colton. If he can get to the front, he can win, but that lead's going to be contested for sure. Splendor Beauty, the 2 horse, the third selection for me, just like you, Mr. Terry. Better fractions last out, and that was in the early part of the race, and it showed better late speed at the end in terms of late pace. Put A plus B to C, and you got the Pythagorean theorem and maybe a winner. There's some kind of code in that for sure. And then the 6 horse, Big Boy's Answer is my long shot, and here has plenty of upside in its past performances and did show some signs of life, improving in the early part of the race last out and then finding a second win as they came down the stretch. Maybe that momentum continues over to today. Final race of today will be race number 9. Tomorrow, Terry and I will get together again. We will do Churchill Downs, probably start around noon Central Time, 1 Eastern. Don't miss that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, as Terry told you already, on YouTube, the like, the follow, everywhere across our social sites, streaming down below so you don't miss our Churchill picks. And then, of course, on Thursday, we will do Belmont at Aqueduct. So we're going to traverse the country from Parx to New York to Louisville. Mr. Terry, before we go off to Louisville, let's go off to the final race of the day at Parx.
Well, we're going to go to a stretched out race again, 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming $10,000 claiming price. Purse is $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 17th. Claiming races for $8,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
It depends on how much money he has in there, Jack of all trades. If he puts all of his money on that 4 horse, you don't know how much money he has. It might be $6 million. It might be $600. It might be 6 cents. Who knows? But we do know that Tafim is a great fan of the show, and we appreciate his comments and his consistent persistence. 1 mile and 70 yards is the way we're going to open the show. It's the way we're going to close the show. Usually the horses that open the show on the lead also close the show at 1 mile and 70 yards at Parx. Post positions are mostly fair. 2 and 3 a little bit better than the rest. 4 through 7 a little bit of a discount relative to the rest. The one remaining factor, as we've seen from race to race, is speed. And Tycoon Terry has plenty of it.
Yeah, they all show some speed, but the 6 shows the most speed. So I think it's kind of anybody's guess again. The 2 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 15 to 1. The 6 has an overlay from 3 to 1, 4 to 1. And the 12 has an overlay from almost 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. All but the 3 and 9 have par plus numbers, and they all show C zones.
Finally, the last time we're going to look at trip handicapping and pace handicapping. Balanced race here. 1 horse, though, that has an advantage over all of the rest is Tycoon, the 6 horse, the lone EP. Very versatile. The 7 and 10 have some versatility, too. So perhaps if the pace gets too hot, the 6, 7, and 10 could be a little more cautious. If the pace is too slow, those 3 can get themselves involved. At the early going, Sailors Return along with Roman Empire. Well, look at this, Terry. They're all within 7 points of each other. So again, getting off to a good start could be key because you could be first and you could be last. And like Ricky Bobby says, if you're not first, you are last. Tycoon has the most late speed running on Q. That's another with some late speed. A bit of a drop off for the rest of them in there. So maybe the 6 and the 12. Those two could be ones to focus on, particularly if they can get some good position early. They are our top total pace horses. Tycoon being 7 points for about a length and a half. If pace matters, better than the rest of the field. Well, you started with that 6. I started with another.
That's right. Yeah, I started with Tycoon. He won his last 3 races in a row, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The 8 Assembly Point is my second choice, has won his last race also, has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey who's Paco Lopez. And then the 10 Singing in the True Storm, I guess, Through the Storm.
Singing Through the Storm.
Yes. Yeah. He has won 2 out of the last 3 starts, has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 12, Runny One's Q. What? Yeah, whatever.
I think a Runny 1Q, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he ran second versus Tougher in his last race and drops in class today and has a high percentage winning jockey. And I have no more money left, so no more bets for me.
Let's see. The 8 horse, Paco Lopez, just needs to rerun its last race. And this horse will be a winner again, although I do have a little bit of worry that the horse regresses off a peak performance. But if it can double up on solid runs with Paco on board, maybe it gets another W in here. Tycoon, this one got claimed last race. It's going to rise, which is pretty much what they have to do, I believe, if they come back within 30 days. Does have that top total pace edge of 6 points clear of everybody, so 1 length better than the rest. Greener Pastures, that 1 horse. Second race at the Parx track. Prior to that, the horse was running at places like Churchill Downs, Oaklawn Park. So this horse is a track dropper, going to be better in its second start at the Philadelphia track. And then the 12 horse was a tough call for me over the 2, Sailors Return. Drops in class after being a lot better through the first half mile. Last time out, again, no bets for me because I burnt up all my money in that first race. Tomorrow, I won't do such experiments for sure. All right. The 8 horse, let's see, we got a typo error on the 8. Sorry, no big deal. The 8 horse is his play right in there, I guess, or the 7 horse in this race, Roman Empire. Terry, here are our full picks for today. Again, tomorrow, we will head off to Churchill Downs, as our good friend in here mentions in the comment section, that the, oops, I pressed too many buttons. We have the let's see, Loloy mentioning timestamps is really awesome. What he's talking about is when the show is over, you come back to our YouTube channel. In the description, we will timestamp the beginning of every race. So you can come back and watch Tafum race number 8 to find out why number 4 is Terry's best bet of the day. If that's what you so choose, you can watch any of them. You want to relook at the data. You want to go about listening to what I have to say so you know what horses to fade. Whatever it is that you want to look at, the timestamps will help you do that. Again, Churchill tomorrow, Aqueduct on Thursday. No idea what's coming on Friday. I have to get in touch with Tom for Foreign Fridays. You know the free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Please use the link in the description. Is Thistledown, fast and furious racing going on in Ohio. When the show is over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. We will post a recap of the show, all of our comments, along with a replay. And while you're there, hit the HRT gear. Terry and I agree. This is the sharpest looking trucker hat you will ever own. Yeah, right, Terry.
That's right. Absolutely. And then there's a couple of things I want to say. In that first race, I was talking about one of my favorite things to do is if I've got a hard favorite that I kind of like, and there's some long shots in there, I like to do a $1 exacta box. And I would have done it in that race with the favorite, with the 3, 7, and 8 horses, because they were all high, 17 to 1 and 60 some to 1. If you had done that and played $6, you would have collected $101.20. That's pretty nice. And then the other thing is that I want everybody to know that you should subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can come and listen to us, because yesterday in the first 2 pick fours we had, And then in the last pick four, if you'd have just added my long shot, you would have had the last pick four. Yes, they didn't pay a lot, but they did pay something, and they did make a profit for all three of them. So anyway, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified about all of the different things that we've got coming up, because we have special shows all the time. And then also, copy that link at the bottom and share it with all your friends and relatives, everybody like that. Go to our social sites such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and X at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and likes. That really helps us out. And then also keep giving us comments and picks, because it's a lot of fun to talk with you folks out there, but it also helps us out with our algorithms.
Yes, it helps us with the internet. Any interactivity does indeed boost us up the search rankings. Well, we always appreciate that. All right, folks, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this terrific Terry Tuesday till we get together again for Hump Day, we certainly hope that you do an act of kindness towards a stranger today. You never know what they're going through, and then perhaps they'll play it forward. No matter what it is you're doing before this day ends and we get back together tomorrow for Hump Day with Hollywood Hay at Churchill on Wednesday, make sure that your endeavors and your life dreams are met with God's grace and God's favor, and every single thing that you do is blessed and ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a blessed day.